Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here. Today we're talking about Xbox because obviously just a couple days back they pretty much doubled the price of Xbox Game Pass, but actually it's gotten so much worse. First of all, Xbox has replied to the backlash with a statement that's so bad people are actually even more pissed about that, but there has been a leak today that they're about to roll out Game Pass ads where you can actually play games for free 1 hour at a time. But to do that, you have to watch commercials. And you try to boot the game up, or maybe even in the middle of the game, it'll actually show you a commercial for like McDonald's or GMC cars and stuff like that. And a lot of people are basically saying this is the death of gaming. This is what happens when a corporate entity like Microsoft is worth $3 trillion. The only reason they're doing it is to try and maximize every penny of profit, to squeeze every fan, every gamer, everybody for every penny. And if you don't have the pennies, they want to squeeze it out of your eyeballs with extra crappy ads. But let's talk about this. And I want to really just explore this because I do truly think this is not only the end of Xbox. I'm kind of worried that by this time next year, there isn't going to be a console. I feel like there's not even going to be any Xbox developers, but let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. And if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, this video is going to be a bit long because I want to start by talking about these ad leaks. And then I want to take a look at the fact that it actually turns out that honestly, there's more bad news. They've actually removed even more features from Game Pass, and they're just being super quiet about it. But let's start with this. So, The Verge has now leaked that Microsoft is getting ready to announce a free version of Xbox Cloud Gaming with ads. Currently, in internal testing, you can play the game 1 hour at a time for up to 5 hours free per month. This is an ad-supported version which will include streaming games you own, eligible free-to-play titles, Xbox retro games. Pre-roll ads are around 2 minutes before a game. Now, honestly, this to me is so incredibly infuriating because I'll be honest, the way I game a lot, I'm the kind of person where I will sit down and play a game for hours and hours and hours, but when I'm feeling kind of ADD, when I'm just wanting to try stuff out, sometimes I'll flip through a couple different games at once, or I'll turn a game on for like 10 minutes, do one battle in Final Fantasy Tactics or something like that, and then, I don't know, switch games or go get a drink or something like that. My concern is the fact that, honestly, with a service like this, I got a feeling every time I turn on my console, every time I boot up that stream, it's going to actually make me rewatch an ad every single time. Now, everybody is immediately making fun of this in the comments. Bro, imagine having to watch a commercial before playing a video game. What happened to the gaming industry? And I do think this is an interesting point. A lot of people, imagine you're midway through a boss battle and you get slapped with an ad. There were actually these patents. These got leaked a while back. People were super pissed about it. There is talks about making it where you have to plug a microphone in, or if you're playing on your phone, it'll actually detect the microphone in your phone. While you're watching an ad, you have to verbally acknowledge what ad you're watching in order to actually make it continue back with your content. You can see here's like watching a movie. This to me is the death of media. Look, if we're going to pretend video games are art, right? I'm a big proponent of video games are art. I think video games have the best stories, the deepest worlds, the most complex, intricate, cool characters and stuff. If we're going to say it's art, then this kind of stuff is not only antithetical, it's evil, it's anti-art. I feel like it's anti-business. At this point, you're just trying to get people addicted. You're just saying, all right, if we can get people hooked on Fortnite or something, maybe we can show them ads in the middle of Fortnite and they'll still put up with it. This is so ridiculous. Look at this. Needed to watch ads while playing games? We gotta kill Microsoft. Literally everything. Imagine you're finally about to beat Radon and all of a sudden you're learning about that new McChicken sandwich from McDonald's. Everybody's of course pushing McDonald's commercials. Come home from a hard day at work, can't wait to play Halo, fire up an Xbox and hit start on the game. Now, a lot of people actually in the comments talked about the fact that the point of this is that this person right here, Ali, this guy absolutely nailed it. The point of these ads is to annoy you. Every company has fully admitted this. The point of ads is to slowly pressure you into paying for the service. Hey, we're going to annoy you. We're going to poke you and prod you. Oh, do you want to see the game? Oh, you're tired of these 2-minute ads. Well, we don't want to show you these 2-minute ads either. Just subscribe to the service. Now, I have actually seen people already theorizing that when this rolls out, I guarantee you by this time next year, First, it's going to be the free tier. Oh, you get the Game Pass, but it does have ads. The next tier, I guarantee you by next year, they're going to go, oh, Essential, it's got less ads, but there'll still be some ads. They're going to keep upping which tiers have it until every version of Xbox Game Pass will also have commercials. This to me is disgusting. At this point, I don't gotta say, hey, everybody unsub to Game Pass. Everybody is unsubbing to Game Pass in such record numbers. Not only is the site going down, there is like a tracking metric called Google Trends where you can see how popular something is. So many people have unsubbed from Game Pass. It's actually at the maximum limit of trending. Literally, the scale is 1 to 100 in popularity of a topic. This is the first time ever that a topic has hit number 1 on it. Literally, everybody that is Googling about Xbox is literally about how do I cancel Game Pass. But I want to talk about this other thing as well here, which is a secret thing they removed. Microsoft quietly removes Xbox Game Pass DLC discounts. Following the Game Pass price hike, players have noticed that 10% discounts of DLCs is gone. One more perk quietly stripped away as backlash over rising costs continues. Now, I'll be honest, I use this a lot, because, I mean, honestly, I buy a lot of DLC, but also it's cool that if I already have Game Pass, which I did until this week, I always thought it was a cool thing where, hey, if you buy a game, the reason this was so great is that the whole selling point of Game Pass for a lot of people is that, oh, I've already paid for the service. I'm happy to install something outside my comfort zone, a weird puzzle game, a roguelike, a first-person shooter that doesn't have an art style I super gel with. Okay, I've already paid for Game Pass, I'll play it. And then if I loved it, I did like the idea that, okay, now that I already have the game, let's check out the DLC. Oh, the DLC is marked down because I'm getting it through Game Pass. I actually did this with Starfield, where I bought Starfield, but then I had Game Pass later on. And then when I was playing Starfield, oh, here's the DLC. I get the DLC for cheaper. I always thought that was a smart idea because it sort of incentivizes people to not just buy DLC that maybe they wouldn't have, but it makes you feel like you're getting a good deal. They removed this just to screw over their fans. Hey, thanks for supporting Game Pass. Pay an extra $2 or $3 on every single piece of DLC. This to me is ridiculous. And the reason this extra pisses me off is that this is their official statement. This is literally from the Xbox exec that's job it is to defend this. Price increases are never fun for anybody, but we're listening to player feedback. I want to read the exact statement. This is so ridiculous to me. We understand price increases are never fun for anybody, but we're trying to reinforce by adding more value to these plans. Just a lie. They're literally removing features. This is just a flat out lie. These are executives that are literally being paid to lie to gamers. They don't have any other job. It is just purely about misinformation and lies. It's something we don't take lightly, and we're listening to the feedback of the players and the community to try and provide more of what they're asking for. This is so funny because let's just be honest. The main thing people are mad about is the price of Game Pass Ultimate. They just keep jacking up the price of it again and again and again with less games, less features, less stuff to get you excited. I'm a big believer in the fact that gaming at this point is two separate halves of a pie. I do think that part of it is playing the games, enjoying the community, but I do think part of the fun of gaming is that hype, is watching trailers, is talking to your friends, is, waiting at line at GameStop, or literally if you get it on Amazon, just waiting for the mail to come for that second you get to play it. I do think the hype is part of how we game now, 100%. And when you announce stuff like this, I do think it tampers that hype. It makes it where a lot of gaming is the excitement for that next big game. And at this point, I feel like there's zero excitement inside the Xbox community, and for good reason. I want to end with this tweet by Paul Tassi at Forbes.com. Obviously, this guy is a very big gaming journalist, does a lot of game reviews and stuff, but he made a big viral article basically talking about why he specifically decided to give up on Game Pass, where even though it is a good deal at one point, it's just gotten so prohibitively expensive. But he said this: maybe it's possible that Xbox rolls back the Game Pass price increase, but this just seems like something that is much more core to their entire business. Some would even call it essential. I don't care if they make it $5 a month. They've shown their utter contempt for their customers. I give them 20 to 24 years of brand loyalty. I won't piss on them if they're on fire. Literally every single person. I can't believe that literally we're at a point This won't erase their intent. The backlash should surpass everything that EA got with Battlefield 2. Literally every single comment. I don't think they will, because ultimately, this is a way to price people out of day one games and get them to buy stuff again. The day one cheap model was only viable if the service kept growing, which it isn't. It is wild to me that really we're witnessing the final chapter of Xbox. 24 years of success. I do feel like people that didn't grow up when the original Xbox and Xbox 360 were out, you guys can't imagine now, but Xbox used to be the console. Like the way that PS5 right now is the default console, way PS4 and Nintendo Switch dominated so much last gen. There used to be a time where if you said, do you play video games? You didn't even say that. People literally would say, do you play Xbox? Can you even imagine that today? It just seems ridiculous that they have managed to fall so far, so fast, for literally no reason. They just chose to get more and more greedy, and they've sacrificed a lead that was so ridiculously big. But what do you guys think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Oh man, rest in peace. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.